What up, what up? Peace. It's Regs. It's part two. Be a God. How to be a God. Um, I just want to say this before we get started. I do these videos to get out my thoughts. I'm not really doing these videos for views, to become famous, like all that stuff that people get into it for and they start acting different and all that. I'm not in it for that. I'm in it to, hopefully, there's people out there that think the same way as me and they feel the same way as me. They have the same viewpoints and everything, and they could just relate to my videos. That's all I really want. I don't need the million subscribers. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing this for me because this is how I really feel, and this is what I want to get out. And maybe the right person hears it, and it could change something. I'm getting too far off subject. Being a God, part two. Um, to be a God, gods don't get jealous. Gods don't care what other people think, and this is what this part two is really about. It's live your life for yourself. Don't live it for anybody else. And when I say that, I mean like be yourself. Do what makes you happy. Um, you know, we get caught up in society and pop culture and all that other shit. Is you have to dress a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to move and carry yourself. None of that matters because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is yourself and how you feel. And if you made yourself happy and if you're happy with yourself, an example, you remember when you were kids and everything like that, like back to school shopping, that was a big deal when you was a kid. Why? It's because you had to get the new shit, the shit that's in style and shit like that. And we get so caught up in it, and not we, but kids, and that's a big deal to them. You know what I mean? It's hard telling a kid like, hey, don't worry about that shit right now and everything, because they're living in now. And right now in school or wherever they're at, being a kid, like if you don't have a certain pair of sneakers, you're gonna get made fun of, and that's crazy. A pair of sneakers. How long? If you wear a pair of sneakers every day, how long does a pair of sneakers last? Like a year? Maybe you get 2 years out of them. Maybe you get a whole year, and then after a year, they turn into beaters, so you start wearing those to work. Like, you see how the value really doesn't matter. But in your mind and at the present time, like, I gotta have these sneakers. These sneakers are everything. I'm gonna get made fun. And you have to get out of that mentality. Like, okay, that was different when you were a kid, but now that you're grown, do what makes you happy. Don't follow the wave that everybody else is on. When I was in school and everything like that, and even to this day, people like go and buy certain sneakers and buy certain clothes. Like I was always the type, oh, everybody's getting those. Oh, I need these then. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be different because I didn't want to go to school and 4 or 5 other people had the same shit that I was wearing on. Like, you know what I mean? Like you went to school and you thought you're fresh and shit like that, and the dude has on the same fucking outfit as you. So now this outfit is shit. Like you, that same feeling you had about that outfit the day before school, you know what I mean? When you was laying it out and like I'm gonna kill him tomorrow, all that type of shit. Then go to school, you get through like a couple periods, and then boom, you go to your next class. A dude walking in the class, he got the same shit on. You guys might have different sneakers or something, but you got the same jeans, the same shirt. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like get out of that mind frame, because all that shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you're a person that likes a certain type of music, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not what society says that you should like. It doesn't matter. Like what you like, do what you do what makes you happy. That's what being a God is. Because at the end of the day, God doesn't care of what you think of him. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna do what God does. You know what I mean? So that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? I keep saying you know what I mean, but that's another thing. These videos, I do one take. I don't go back. I don't edit. I sit down when it hits me, press record, and I just give it to y'all raw like that. Pause. You know what I mean? Like just give it to y'all like that. But that's another big part about being God. Part two is just loving yourself. You know what I mean? Loving yourself for whatever it is you do, whatever makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, that's, you know what I mean, when you lay down in bed, it's just you and yourself. When you die, you're the only one going in that coffin. That's it. Ain't nobody else going in there with you. So all those opinions and all that other shit that you would let affect you and all that, that's not going with you. You ain't bringing that shit with you. You're only bringing yourself. That's it. That's all you're bringing. So don't get caught up in the whole, I gotta be a certain way, you know, because you don't. The only way you gotta be is the way that makes yourself happy. And that's straight up facts. Like, that's as easy as you can get it. Do what makes you happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it. You know what I mean? People get caught up in the work. Wake up, go to work, come home, wind down, go to sleep, and like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time. You have time. If you look at the time you have when you wake up till before you go to work, and then the time after you get home from work until you go to sleep, like those two little slots right there, you could fill with something. So whatever your hobby is, go back to when you were a little kid. Think like that. What was your passion? You know what I mean? What was it that you wanted to be when somebody walks up to you when you were little, like, hey, little man, what you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a fucking doctor. I want to be. But from that moment on, you go through the whole school system and you go through being around different people and people bashing you for what you want to be. So in a way, they kind of are like, oh, you want to be a doctor? You got to go to school for 10 years. You're not going to do that. And slowly over time, all those negative comments and remarks and shit like that, they wear down on you, and before you know it, you get 10 years away from when you were little and somebody asked you that question, and now it's like, oh, I'm doing life and I didn't go after what I wanted to do because people were telling me I couldn't do it, and I let them discourage me and all that, and now I'm not doing nothing. Now I got to figure it out. Do what makes you happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy, make sure you do that. It's as simple as that. Because that's all you have to, that's all life is about, is pleasing yourself. Yes, be nice to other people and treat other people the right way and everything, but you have to almost be selfish in a way and just worry about yourself. But don't lose the humanity or whatever part of it of being nice to others and all that other shit. Like, do what makes you happy. This is part 2 of being a god. Like I said, it hits me, I put it down. The videos will start getting longer and everything like that. But I'm gonna be getting a new camera and shit like that. That's what, there was the big breaks in between videos and shit like that. But as we keep going, the video is gonna get better. The video is gonna get longer. The topics will get better. But part 2 of being a god is love yourself. And don't let other people's negative opinions and all that take you off track for what you really want to do and why you want to be happy and shit like that. You know what I mean? This part 2. It's Regs. I'm gonna holla at y'all later.